My mother would be glad to hear you say that. My mother's waiting for me to grow old and settle down, marry a rich man.
I thought in your case it'd be the other way around. You know,
No.
Lots of poor guys want to marry you.
No, my mother said, Cheryl, when you get older, I wish you'd hurry to get older so that you would settle down and marry a rich man. And I said, Mom, I am a rich man.
Aespa is a rich man with no taste. I know, that's a pretty bold claim. But what do I mean by that?
I am a rich man.
Officially, hey guys, I hope you're doing well. Today, we're going to be discussing Aespa's 6th mini-album, Rich Man. Released on September 5th, I've had a little over 2 weeks to sit with the album, and I have some thoughts. Starting us off with the title track, Rich Man, it pays homage and sort of quotes Cher's iconic 1995 interview with Pat Kenny, or her NBC Dateline interview in 1996 with Jane Pauley. As a fan of Cher myself, from the announcement of the title track name, I immediately thought of that famous quote. But how does it relate to the song? Well, it's complicated. I feel like they got the gist of it, but the way they went about it was pretty underwhelming. The song does touch on those main topics of being self-sufficient, self-empowering, knowing your worth, and just generally being that girl. But to me, the song on a more production level fell kind of flat. Starting out with the fact that the song itself is mostly the same lyrically. The only difference between the first and second verse are the second half of each of these. They do switch up the delivery on the second one to make it distinct from the first, but I wish they would have explored a separate idea, because the concept of, quote, not caring what they say is something that the whole song covers. Thankfully, there's a bridge, sort of. And for me, it's the highlight of the song. The different flows between Karina and Giselle really help save the ending. However, sonically, it's the same as the previous verses, so to me, this reads more as a third verse than necessarily a bridge, since the change is literally just the first few seconds. Honestly, even though it was okay, I won't lie, the la la la's and the repetition of Rich Man got a bit grating. But putting all that aside, my main issue with the song is that, to me, it just doesn't feel like a title track. I was honestly shocked Dirty Work wasn't included on the album. Regardless of my less than stellar feelings towards the song, that felt like a single. I'm unaware if that was intentionally just a summer single or if something got scrapped, but Rich Man feels way too safe by comparison. That opens up a whole separate conversation about Aespa drifting, pun intended, further and further away from their initial concept, and that's probably going to be a topic for a different video. But even with the MV being pretty visually interesting with cool overlays and transitions, it felt more like a gimmick or a distraction rather than something that accompanied the song. So overall, I was quite disappointed. Following the massive success of Whiplash, this feels like a completely different group to me, but I'll just leave it at that. I'd rate the song a 6.5 out of 10. Good message in theory, but very poor execution. Speaking of poor execution, we next up have Drift. Right off the bat, they should have named this song Cruiser Drive. Lyrically, I have no problem with it. They make clever use of car and race imagery so you can visualize the drift and driving tie-in. Once again, I feel the production on this one specifically fell short. The song starts with this whistle melody that's repeated throughout the choruses, and this to me is the song's downfall. The song has a great pre-chorus that I'll discuss shortly, but it does its job getting you hyped up for a chorus that purely underserved. It didn't even deliver for me, like, the Dasher ate my food levels of not delivered. Personally, I associate drifting with races, competitions, speed. Good job! This chorus kills any momentum that the pre-chorus spends building, and the anti-drop is literally the antithesis of the message of this song. Its more relaxed lyrical structure also fails in combination to the beat. If we had something fast-paced or something bold and interesting, even a one-word or an instrumental chorus can sell the vision, but the more lax whistles with this general lack of intensity, contrasted by the acceleration and car noises layered in the background, make for a mess. Like, I feel you're trying to make me believe we're actually on this super cool ride, when in reality, we're just at a standstill. Nothing shows this disconnect to me more than the chorus's closing line. Quote, "A thrill-packed ride, get to drifting." There is nothing thrilling about this song, except maybe the pre-chorus. This is not only my favorite part of the song, but also to me the only part that actually accomplishes any resemblance to racing or driving. The build-up truly makes me feel like we're gearing up for something important, and this is even paralleled in the lyrics. Shift gears and we're riding clear, on and on. Drop top above, sky so clear. Can't stop, won't stop, baby. No fear, got my girls all here. Past the red sign, we're rolling strong. You better move when I pull the lever. Shift gears on my ride, get the drift in. They're getting us ready to hit the gas. All this hype and build up just for the whistles to start, and we're right back where we were. It's such tonal whiplash in a bad way. If they would have played around with the sounds and the tempo of the chorus, I think they could have really sold what the lyrics were trying to convey. For example, I like the bridge. They did something different that actually fit the vibe. Specifically, the small instrumental break right before their lines. The car noises eventually having a rhythmic buildup that goes into this clangy sort of metallic instrumental was the payoff I wish the chorus had. By the time the final chorus hit, I was checked out. They integrated the bridge's percussion, but it was a little too late for me. And on top of that, it sounded a bit sloppy. In my opinion, there was simply too much happening at the end for me, and not enough in the beginning to balance it out. Maybe if you threw in a high note as the transition between the bridge and final chorus and removed the whistling, it would have a better impact or switch up. Clearly, you can tell I was affected by this song. Because of everything, I'd give this song like a 4 out of 10. I wouldn't say it's flat out unlistenable, but it's pretty darn close. Speaking of borderline unlistenable, we have Bubble. I really wanted to love this song because I love one of the writers, Olivia Ruby. I'm still so sorry about what happened to Boys World, by the way. However, this song also missed the mark for me, just not as bad as Drift. The song is very fun and quirky in a noise music type of way. The lyrics reference the bop it, and honestly, I think it's a pretty cool gimmick. But once again, the production lost me. I won't go as in-depth as I did with Drift, because for that one, I felt it literally went against the theme of the song. For this one, all the noises and effects in the background do fit with the bop it idea, so to speak. I just think it was done poorly. Being a bit more positive, I like the second half of the first verse where the vocals are layered. It gives it a more vintage, old school feel that helps sell that nostalgia for me. Same for the chorus. The way the vocals and the melody were done is so satisfying. It feels like a TV jingle from when I was younger. Once again, tying in that nostalgia. Now, the musical arrangement is a different story. The random ooh kinda take me out a bit. Back to my compliment sandwich, I appreciate how the 3 verses are different both lyrically and the way they're delivered. And the instrumental shift in the last 14 seconds also kinda ate, I fear. But overall, this song was just okay. The chorus got stuck in my head, but not necessarily because it was good. 5 out of 10. Count on Me. Now we're talking. Give me a depression bop. Okay, so Count on Me is a little darker than I initially imagined, but that is okay. Just be who you are. And honestly, this song is really good. It checks off my usual boxes / requirements for a song. The only nice to have that I wish was there was a good vocal moment. I thought we were gonna get one towards the end of the song, but we didn't, and that's fine. Lyrically, I think this is about a toxic codependent relationship, because what do you mean it doesn't matter if I'm completely ruined? Be a little selfish, baby. If you want to hurt me, because you're the only one that's gonna give me what I need. Mama, stand up, please, I'm begging you. Quote, only your existence will be my one and only salvation. Diva, please, please. Like, why'd they have to make such a toxic song sound good as fuck? Like, damn, I'm honestly addicted to the way they sing it. Cause you're the only one who's gonna give me what I need. It like scratches an itch in my brain in a way that I just can't explain it. I don't really have that much to say, honestly. It's a good song. I'd give it an 8 out of 10. Another hit. Angel Number 48 is such a cute manifestation bop. They see it, they like it, they want it, they got it. Period. Honestly, the first time I heard this song, I didn't see the vision. I have to be honest. I was still so flabbergasted by the first half of this mini to even begin processing this song. But that second, third, fourth listen, ooh, girl, I got it. Like, Count on Me, I don't really have a lot to say. The song is great. I really wish we had explored more of this electronic glitter gel pen music throughout the album. I feel this is a genre where they really shine. And Ning Ning, thank you for that high note, girl. I needed it. This song is also sort of a foil to the previous one. It contrasts beautifully to the toxicity in Count on Me. Here, they're all love and light. My angel numbers. I manifested you. My guardian angel. When Count on Me is like, hurt me. Only you can save me. It's okay that I'm in pain. We're meant for each other. I feel bad that again, I don't have anything else to add. Sonically, it's much more upbeat than the album has been, and it's a much needed highlight in my opinion. Because of that, I'd give it a solid 9 out of 10. I don't know how they could make it better, but I know they can. And lastly, we have To the Girls. This song to me is a bit complicated. I love the message, and I'm definitely not the person to be commenting on it since, as you can tell, I am in fact not a girl. My slight gripes with the song are more vibes based, I guess. Like, the song doesn't do anything wrong, it's just, to me, it feels like an inspirational song, and that's not usually my style. However, as an outro, I feel it works fine. It does a good job of closing the album and winding you down. I like the guitars and the more intense final chorus, but generally, I just feel like it's missing something. By the 10th time listening to the album, I just wanted to skip it, and that's not really a great sign for me. I'd give it a 6 out of 10. I fully recognize and acknowledge that I am not the intended audience, and that's perfectly fine. It doesn't need to cater to me. I fully understand and support the message it has, I just won't be streaming it. So that brings us to the end of this album. Honestly, I don't know what I was expecting. I didn't like the B-sides on Whiplash, so I don't know why I'm disappointed, but I am. I guess I just thought they would be an improvement, which technically there was. I only disliked 2 songs and am on the fence about 1. That means half of the album was pretty good, which for Aespa is a great thing. Obviously, in my opinion. Besides it being a catchy title, Aespa being a rich man with no taste, to me is reflected in the weaker tracks. The first half of this album didn't hit, but I feel they wanted you to think it did. I'll stick to my 2 songs. Like all my reviews, this is in no way, shape, or form meant to be hate. I love the girls. My criticisms are coming from a place of love because I know they can do better. That's a whole separate conversation, but I feel like we're steering further and further away from what made them great. I obviously don't pretend for them to do the same thing that works, however, this experimentation felt a little half done in some areas. Maybe a little more time in the studio or a longer brainstorm sesh could yield something better, but again, that's just my opinion. With that being said, thank you guys so very much for watching. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Click that bell icon so you're notified every time I post a video. Tell me in the comments down below, what are your thoughts on the album? Did it hit for you where it flopped for me? I'm honestly curious to hear your thoughts on it. Maybe y'all can try to change my mind. I don't think so, but you can try. Also, thank you so much for the support on my previous video. I spent a lot of time on it, so if you haven't seen it, I gave the remaining Twice members solo mini albums, and I think they're pretty good. The rollout for that video and work sort of have me tied up a bit, so that's why this video is a bit later than I anticipated. But I'm working on 3 other reviews that I hope to have up in the coming weeks. But as always, remember that I love you guys so much, and I will see you all very, very soon. Bye!